My sister collapsed from her chronic pain right as I announced my promotion, but then I handed her the video I'd taken 20 minutes earlier and watched her face as she realized everyone now knew the truth. My older sister Whitney has had chronic pain for 6 years. Fibromyalgia, she said. Doctors never found anything, but our parents paid her rent anyway. She quit 3 jobs because of flare-ups. Here's the pattern though. My high school graduation, emergency room. My college acceptance dinner, couldn't get off the couch. My first apartment housewarming, had to leave early. But when our cousin got a job at Target, Whitney was totally fine. When Dad's buddy came over for football, she laughed for 4 hours straight. I got promoted to assistant manager at the credit union. 26 years old, youngest person in that role. Mom planned Sunday dinner to celebrate, and I just knew Whitney would ruin it. I showed up 40 minutes early, told Mom I needed my sweater from the car, then walked around to the side yard where I could see through the dining room window. Whitney was inside alone, dead ass practicing falling. I pulled out my iPhone and started recording. She had one hand on the table, lowering herself in slow motion, testing angles. Forward first, then sideways. She did sideways 3 times, adjusting her arm position. She checked her phone and nodded to herself. I got 90 seconds of footage. She said out loud, "Wait until she finishes talking about the promotion. Right after. Has to look sudden." I went back inside, shaking. Helped Mom set the table and didn't say a word. Dinner started normal. Pot roast, mashed potatoes. Whitney was already doing her thing, wincing and shifting in her chair, heating pad against her back. Mom kept offering ibuprofen. Mom brought out apple pie. "Let's hear this big news." I stood up. "I got promoted to assistant manager, youngest person in that position at our branch." Whitney gasped, grabbed the table and collapsed sideways. Her chair tipped over. She hit the floor hard. Mom screamed. Dad ran over. Whitney was on the ground going, "The pain, it's so bad." I pulled out my phone and hit play with the volume all the way up. Whitney's voice from 23 minutes ago filled the entire room. "Wait until she finishes talking about the promotion. Right after. Has to look sudden." Everyone just froze. Mom was halfway to the floor. Dad had his hand out. Uncle Kevin had his fork in the air. Whitney looked up at me and her face went completely white. I turned my phone around so everyone could see the screen. The video showed Whitney practicing the fall over and over, checking her positioning. "I filmed her through the window," I said. Whitney scrambled to her feet. "I was stretching. I have to test my limits to—" "You literally said my promotion," I said. Her heating pad fell off the chair. She reached for it. "Don't," Dad said. His voice was so flat. She grabbed her purse and just bolted. Out the front door in like 5 seconds. We heard her Civic start up, tires squealing as she peeled out. Mom went after her, but Dad caught her arm. "Let her go. She's sick," Mom said. "She just ran out of here," Uncle Kevin said. "I thought the pain was too bad to stand." Mom pulled out her phone and called Whitney. Straight to voicemail. She called again. Voicemail. 3rd time she left a message. "Whitney, come back. We need to talk about this." Dad took the phone right out of Mom's hand. "She's not sick." I held up mine. "She practiced falling on the floor so she could wreck my dinner." Mom's face just crumpled. She walked to the bedroom and shut the door. Uncle Kevin looked at me. "How long have you known something was off?" "Years," I said. Dad poured himself whiskey. He never drinks. "Send me that video." I airdropped it to him. He watched it twice, then forwarded it somewhere. 30 seconds later, his phone rang and he walked outside to take it. Me and Uncle Kevin started clearing plates. Neither of us said anything. Dad came back in. "That was your aunt." I sent her the video. She said Whitney's been hitting her up for money. Said she needed to see a specialist. My phone buzzed. The family group chat. Dad had posted the video. 15 people saw it in under 2 minutes. Whitney called me. I let it ring out. She called again. I blocked her number. She called Mom's phone. Dad picked up. "No, you don't get to explain this. You don't get to come back here and cry about it." He hung up. Mom came out like an hour later with red eyes. She looked at me and said, "I'm sorry I didn't see it." 3 weeks later, Whitney wasn't at Mom's birthday. Nobody even asked where she was. My aunt told me Whitney moved 2 hours away and got some data entry job. She hasn't contacted me since that night.